So you may have seen the news today that a lawsuit was filed by Sean Combs, Diddy's former girlfriend, Cassie. And well, I actually have a crazy story about it. Now, I want to preface this by telling you that this is just a conversation that I had in real life that is just a complete happenstance. I cannot validate or verify that any of this information is true. I have no evidence. This was just a complete chance, random encounter that I had at an airport in Las Vegas, probably around 10 years ago. So take my story with a grain of salt, but here it is. Probably somewhere around 10 years ago, I think it was about 2012 or 2013, I was in the Las Vegas airport and I had a really early flight. It was probably something like 7 or 8 in the morning, and obviously you go to Vegas, you party, and I was looking rough, to say the least. My flight was delayed back to South Florida, and I was sitting there clearly not doing well. There was a huge, jacked dude sitting next to me in the airport waiting area, and when we found out that our flight had gotten delayed, we both kind of got to talking. He said something along the lines of like, dude, you look rough, looks like you're struggling. I was like, yeah, I'm here partying. We got to talking about what we do and whatnot to pass the time. And he told me that he is a male escort. Naturally, I was like, dope. I had never met anybody that's a male escort. Tell me everything. He told me that he worked for a company called Cowboys for Angels. And he said that there was actually a show about it on Showtime, a reality show that documented the lives of male escorts. I don't know if he specifically was on the show, but some of the people that he worked with at Cowboys for Angels was on the show. He had told me that he was out there for the weekend, that he was basically spent the weekend with a person that had some money out in Vegas. I think it was an older lady. And I was like, so are you always escorting for like unattractive women or like overweight women or, older women or something like that? Because the guy had to be, I would say, late 20s, maybe early 30s. He was probably 6'4", absolutely shredded, white dude. In fact, I had seen him at the gym before, and I saw him at the gym after, but I don't think we ever spoke again, but I had noticed him at the gym. So he was actually like, no, actually sometimes it's supermodels and super beautiful young women. I was like, how is that possible? So anyways, after a few minutes, I was like, what is the most insane story that you could tell me? And he told me about a time that he got hired really late night to go down to Star Island or South Beach. I think it was Star Island in Miami for a job. He said that this particular job paid quite a bit more money than a standard job of its type did. I don't remember the specifics, but it was something along the lines of like, it was like an hour-long job and it was thousands of dollars. And it was like 1 a.m, but the money was too good, so he took it. Some of the details are hazy, but basically he said that he got to this huge mansion on Star Island and that the instructions of the job were to not speak at all. And the client was undisclosed, but he said that he could tell whose house it was when he got there. I guess because of either some insignias or some memorabilia around the property. Not sure if it was inside or outside. Maybe it was pictures of him or his family inside. But he said something along the lines of he went into a dark room with a bed in the middle and there was an absolutely stunning, gorgeous, I think he referred to as black chick. And he said that while he did the deed with her, there was a man sitting in the corner of the room with a mask on. I believe he said he was pleasuring himself. And he said the guy was Diddy. So considering the salacious details of this lawsuit, now there are some differences because this dude was a white guy. I know that the lawsuit alleges that she was searching for a specific type of guy. I also don't know if this girl specifically, Cassie, was the girl that he was talking about in this story. Now again, I don't know, but this is a very weird story, a very strange chance encounter. I don't know if the girl was the same girl. I know that he had said that the guy was wearing a mask, but he could tell that it was Diddy. He said that he could tell that it was his house. I believe that he has a house down on Star Island. Now this was about 10 years ago or so. Technically, I could check my records to find specifically when exactly it was. So I don't know if it was this girl. But when I saw this lawsuit, I was like, that's insane because I had that story told to me so many years ago and it seemed to align in at the very least some ways with the details of that lawsuit. So if the allegations against this man are true, he's obviously a scumbag and, I don't know what, if anything, this story will do, but I suppose it's worth telling because it's extremely strange that I would have such an encounter. And then on top of that, I would have, at the very least, a small audience to share it. So do you all that information? Again, I do not know how much of this, if any of it is true. I can't validate any of it. It's just a story that was told to me at an airport in Las Vegas. And if all that stuff is true, I hope that she sees justice for what seems like the bad things that he allegedly did.